Welcome back to Roofing Explained, and I've got our roofing expert right here, Mr. Mike Feazel, because we're talking about that time that can have a lot of anxiety for you as a homeowner. It's time for your roof to get built, and during this time, you're thinking to yourself, boy, what should I expect when all these people start showing up in my house? A third of my home is about to get ripped off. And I'm telling you, that anxiety can go through the roof, pun intended, everybody. I first of all want to start with what should be expected of the homeowner, Mike, when it comes to their property, when it comes to maybe certain valuables that are outside of their home. What falls on the homeowner, in your opinion, to make sure that they're protected and they do the most they can?
Yeah, I mean, the biggest thing, again, is the contractor and the homeowner have a discussion about it, right? The contractor should have already educated you about how they go about property protection. Are they taking plywood and leaning it against the home? Are they using, I forget the name of the one.
Catch-all.
Yeah, the catch-all, but then they have the trailer that lifts up.
Like Equipter?
The Equipter.
Yeah.
Equipter. Yeah, they've done an amazing job, and I see them on a lot of job sites. So that's a great tool to protect the property. However a contractor achieves it, there needs to be an attempt to go in and really, you have to scope out the project, see what's there. Some are very easy. You just rip it off and it gets thrown straight on into the dump truck or into the dump trailer. Mm-hmm. Other jobs are steep, and there's $50,000 of landscaping and all of these other challenges. So that is a big, big piece of the project. And the more challenging the project, the more focus needs to be put on property protection, of course.
Speaking of property protection, one of the areas that is damaged often but can be overlooked by a homeowner is the driveway. Mike, why can this oftentimes be an area that is damaged or become an area of contention between the contractor and the homeowner?
Because you have literally a semi pulling up to the home. It's the apron that tends to crack where it's thinner as you're pulling up onto the driveway. Mm-hmm. Most of the contractors, if they're using a reputable distributor, that distributor understands the weight that's on that vehicle, and they have the forklifts that go into the back, the piggyback forklifts. So now it's just a pallet of shingles that's a few thousand pounds that's now coming onto the driveway, not the entire truck.
Yes.
Right, but so the bigger distributors understand that, and if there's damage, they'll cover that cost.
Now, would you advise that a homeowner document the exterior of their home before?
100%.
Or rely on the contractor?
Both.
Okay.
A good contractor should walk around today and film the entire exterior of that property, driveway, sidewalks, everything. The homeowner should do the same. It's not that homeowners are trying to get one over, but I'm not paying that much attention to my home until I'm having a project done, and now I'm looking at all of the details, and I'm seeing things that maybe were already there prior, but I just didn't notice it before, or there's new damage. We tell people when we're coming out to your home, we're going to do everything in our power to protect your property. We're going to check every box that needs to be checked, but damage still can occur. And if it does, because it's the only way you can, straight face sit there and tell the customer, like, oh, no, we never have damage. You're going to have damage. Look, if there's a problem, we're going to address it head on and make it right, and you'll be satisfied.
As part of the preparation for your roofing job, should it be alarming to see gutters removed from your home? What is that process like for a contractor?
99% of the time, you should not need to remove the gutters from a home to install a new roof.
Okay.
And there are times where you have to do it for various reasons, but collectively, there's no reason to replace the gutters.
A lot of homeowners have dogs, young children. What are your suggestions, or what would your suggestion for allowing the dog in the yard during a roofing project, or a child to play in the play set? Where do you fall on this?
Yeah, nobody should be around the project when the project's underway. Everybody needs to be in the home or out of the home and away from the property. Even after the job is completely done, sweeping with a magnet, which your good contractors will do, it's impossible to get every single nail. Those nails within a short period of time will work their way down and into the dirt. You could still step one a year later, right? But the chances are less likely. 99% of the nails are going to be picked up by that magnet or caught by the tarp. Tarps can't lay out for too long. You'll burn the grass in the summer. So you can't lay, if you're tearing off that section of the roof, you lay the tarps out over the bushes, and that section you rip the roof off. Try to get as much debris onto the tarp as you can, throw it in the dumpster, and then get the tarp up.
One of the areas that you have to very much be efficient is an area like Florida. We're in Florida right now filming this, and there are summer storms that move in quickly. Yeah. In other parts of the country, there are winter storms or hailstorms that move in quickly. Yeah. If I'm a homeowner, I may be concerned about my roofing project taking a couple of days, because what's going to happen, Mike, when that weather rolls in? Is my roof going to be safe when inclement weather moves in quickly? And are contractors able to prepare for this? Are there good and bad ones? Because I've heard the horror stories where a roof can get ruined. How can a homeowner ensure that that's not going to be something that happens to them? And is it something that contractors take into account when they're putting that roof on?
A good contractor does. Yeah. They're only going to remove as much as they can put back on that day. They're never going to expose more than they can get covered up if a storm comes in. Now, if it's a beautiful sunny day and there's no chance of rain, and we know we can get that roof back on by the end of the day, we're going to come in and rip off half of the roof. Part of the crew comes in and starts installing that half as the other crew rips off the other half of the roof, and then reinstall. But that's looking at that project, and everyone is unique, and understanding what are the weather conditions. That's just a very experienced team lead that knows what they're doing.
And final question for you about this is what to expect on the day itself. All right, because I think it can be a little bit alarming. You see all these people showing up to your home that you've never seen before. They're about to rip off your roof, as you've seen that on the estimate itself. Is there something that you would say, hey, listen, this is the level of customer service you should expect the day of? If we're talking about the preparation for the roof being replaced, I think that just the customer service that you should expect that same day is going to be pivotal. And I think that individuals, because they only do this a couple of times maybe in their life, they don't know what they should be expecting on that day. Can you enlighten them a little bit on what you expected from your guys and your company on build day?
No, great question. Again, educating the customer at the presentation, but then on the day of the build, either the sales rep is going to show up with the crew to introduce the crew leader, right? So walk around with the crew leader, show them what's going on, or the quality control person will show up that day to do the same thing. The quality control person is going on to other jobs as well as the sales rep going out to meet other customers. They're always a phone call away. Of course, the office is always a phone call away. Just making that communication very easy. And if that customer has a question, they're getting an answer. If they're leaving a voicemail, they're getting a call back within a half hour. It's not hours later. Or really better yet, they just walk out the door and they talk to the team lead who they met earlier in the morning to ask those questions. And the team lead can answer those questions and keep that customer informed.
And final question for you, I've got to ask you about this because we're talking about prep permits. If an individual, and depending on the state, I think here, but most states require there to be some kind of permitting that's going to be displayed, something that's going to show that there's a permit being pulled. Does this happen across the country? What has been your experience in this?
No, most of the country does not require permitting. Much of the country doesn't require licensing. In central Ohio, Columbus, Ohio, the city of Columbus requires licensing and permitting. But then the 30 different suburbs around it, most of them don't, or it's a $50 or $100 fee that you pay to renew your license, but there was never a test for it. And there's no permits pulled. So Texas, you don't need, you can just, yeah. So every place is different. But yeah, by and large, my guess is probably 20% of the roofs in the U.S. actually get a permit pulled for it. I don't know the statistics. I'm just based on the different states I've worked in and what I see in the roofing industry.
Well, I think that what we've done here is we've given you as a homeowner a lot to think about as you are moving into your project. What preparation you need to be thinking about to ensure that your home is going to be well taken care of, and that your pets and that the siding and that your lawn is going to be in good shape when this roofing project is done. And Mike, some of that's going to fall on the contractor, Mr. and Ms. Homeowner. Some of that is going to fall on you. Make sure, as you said, I like this, have the discussion with the contractor beforehand, because you need to be clear on what your responsibilities are as a homeowner and what their responsibilities are as a contractor.
Yeah, communication's everything.
Yeah. Couldn't agree with you more. We will see you all next time. We're going to be talking about the actual materials, the delivery of this stuff, and getting this project started here on Roofing Explained with our roofing expert, Mr. Mike Feazel. We'll see you on the next episode.